What's up? What do we have here? My new EDC and a couple of little bit of my collection. It's not my collection per se, but what I've used throughout the years. So now I went and got the Code 4 Cold Steel Code 4. I put this skateboard tape on the sides. Now, it's a shitty job, but one of the major complaints of the aluminum scales, it's not even scales, that's the aluminum, it's the whole aluminum body. There's no scales and no liners. It's just, that's the whole thing. It's just these aluminum side plates, I guess what you call them. Anyway, it's all solid aluminum, but they're very thin and very light, but they're very smooth and very flat. It's a good thing that it's flat. I'm trying to see if I can just throw this on. Code 4, and don't know how well you can see, S35VN, and that is coming close to being a super steel, as they say. So I'm here in the shade because it's freaking hot out here today. Fuck. So I'm just kneeling down in the shade. What do I have here? Well, duh. This has been my collection. This has been what I've been carrying. It started off many years ago with this Smith & Wesson, and you're going to notice a theme. Well, okay, maybe just two of them. I'm going to hope this come out well. Smith & Wesson SWAT Special Tactical. I've got this, I'm going to say, over 20 years ago. I thought because it's Smith & Wesson, because it's SWAT, it's going to be a good knife. One weekend I broke the tip. I continued to carry it. Okay, maybe it wasn't a week. Maybe it was a month. But I broke the tip. I knew nothing about blade metals. I still don't know what this could be. What kind of metal they use for this, but I mean, it served cutting purposes, but I broke the tip trying to open a locked bedroom door. You know, you stick the knife in the to try to open the door. I mean, it wasn't even hard. So this POS, piece of shit. But I always held on to it, so there it is. Look, even without the tip. Ugh. There we go. So then after that experience with the cheap knife, which it was inexpensive too, that's why I got it. I was at a gun show when I bought this Columbia River knife and tool. This is the My Teague. I think the developer designer's name is Christopher Teague. Don't quote me on that. Whoa. Got a little wind. She's down. Now I was at the gun show. I needed a new knife. I went specifically, I said, I'm going to buy a knife today. And some other stuff. And I said, I came across a knife booth and this was there. And I said, this looks badass. These scales, I don't know what they are, but you know, they're kind of grippy. This is an excellent knife. This knife is at least 15 years old. You see some rust pitting now. It's because I've just thrown it in a drawer somewhere, but it can still, now I didn't bring anything to cut, but this is a 15-year-old knife, and I carried this every day for 10 years. This was my EDC for 10 full years. I wasn't a knife snob or gear snob. Now, obviously it's not doing a great job, but fuck, it's an old knife that I carried every day. I forget what the steel is. You can look it up. It's a pretty well-known knife. And the clip is solid. I'm telling you, 10 years in my pocket, in and out. Clip is solid. The lock is solid still. The blade is still usable. Tip is in perfect condition. This is like the best knife I've ever had. It's a little bulky. There they go again. But and it's got a slight spring assist. See, like there. So for opening and deploying, you just flick it, and it'll do the rest. See? I mean, this is a long time ago. That's just, I'm just like pushing it just to, I'm not flicking, I'm just, oh, didn't go all the way that time, but I'm just saying, normal deployment, it comes up and assist. I mean, even brand new, it works better. This thing, I don't know if you can see that. So, strong liner lock. Anyway, best knife I ever had. To this point. I think I may have found another one. Here, make yourself useful. All right, Columbia River Knife and Tool Cricket, my Teague. Best knife ever. I think it was $100, and at the time, I'm like, man, $100 for a knife. But boy, is it worth it. God, this log, who would have thunk it? A round log is gonna roll. Goddamn cavemen. Now let's move on to the next one. Trident Sog Tanto. This is a pretty cool little knife. But as you can see, broken tip again. I forgot how I broke that tip, but not that great. The steel is not that great. I don't know what it is, but I actually won this on an Instagram contest or YouTube. No, it was YouTube. Oh, it was, I can tell you who it was. My Paper Tiger. Urban Paper Tiger. Also an assist, spring assist. And you undo the lock. You know, it's locked in place. It's got like that Benchmade lock. So you pull this knob here, and then that's how you close it. It's got a seatbelt cutter. When closed, you can use it as a seatbelt cutter because it's the same blade. And then this is a lock to lock it closed. But I crazy glued that because I don't want it to lock closed, because I want to be able to pull it out and not have it locked closed accidentally. As you can see, they got a lot of use and gave me a lot of good years of service from this one. That's also pretty decently sharp. Look, better than the my Teague. But again, this is not as old. This may be like 5 years old. So, still good. Broken tip, I used it a lot. But I was just wanted something new. No tip, so it's gonna be hard to, come on, man. Anyway. Then I went and got the Camillus Titanium Aus 8. Finally we're getting into named steels. Now this one, it's kind of no frills. I mean, there's no, I don't know. G10 scales. It's really the intriguing thing with this is the way this mechanism works. This is to open it. I mean, you can, you know, open it by hand with two hands, but this is how you flick it open. Now basically you just push that. It's attached to the knife somehow. I don't know the inner workings. So this is one solid metal liner, probably stainless steel, and then G10 scales, and it's basic. Camelus. I mean, hey, it's AUS 8. I didn't carry this one too much simply because it was boring. That's basically it. I mean, and that's a lot of life, isn't it? I mean, if you just, I mean, if cars just needed to get us from A to B and didn't have to look cool, we'd all just have the same car. This one's a lot sharper than the other two. Also still very old. But I haven't used this one much. It's just one I had and I got, and it's there for backup if I need it. This little puppy here, what is this? Is it a buck, you say? No. K-bar, 1189 stainless. The metal that they're claiming it is. Now this one I never carried. This one me and my wife found on an adventure in an abandoned warehouse, and some, I don't know if they were druggies or criminals, staged this knife in a stairwell. It's not cutting anything, by the way. It's just sliding across the... Alright, the tip is a little sharp. I mean the belly. I've never sharpened it. It could probably take an edge, but it's just a cool knife I never knew K-bar made. What they call these slip joints. And it reminds me of the adventure that me and my wife had, so that's why that one's there. All right. Let's skip over to this one. Another one I did not carry, but I'll tell you who did carry this. Cheap piece of garbage. Also, inexpensive budget POS knife, but this was carried by a U.S. Marine on deployment in Africa, Spain, West Coast, East Coast U.S. His name is my son. My son carried this knife. I gave him, he came over to the house one day and we were talking knives, and he was talking about how, oh, he'd love to have a Benchmade, and I just happened to have one. So I gave him a Benchmade. And he said, here, he just traded me for the one in his pocket. He gave me this, and I gave him the Benchmade. So I have this of memory of, this was actually saw service. How about that? But I never carried it. This is what I've been carrying. No. Spyderco. I forget which one this is. I think it's the Tenacious. Don't quote me on that, but it's the budget version. See the HCR13 MOV steel? Crap! The steel is crap, the knife is a good knife. Wow, some noises around here. The steel is shitty steel, and G10 handles, skeletonized. I don't know if you can see the skeletonized liner, metal, stainless steel liner. What I'll say, even though by saying the steel is crap, they know it's crap. But it's still a great knife. It's very affordable. Where the win is in the design of the knife. And it's kind of a step, an introduction, the gateway drug, if you will, to Spyderco. I mean, the great design, full flat grind, the eye hole, the shape and functionality of this design is what wins. You know, you got the clip that can go on all four right hand, left hand, up, down. So is what I've been carrying, but the steel is just not up to par to what anyone actually needs for any good service. If I do get another Spyderco, it would be, you know, better steel, which they have. So no knock against Spyderco for this knife. The knife is great. The design is the winner right here, and you know, just get a better steel next time. Coming to the Code 4. This is the best steel on paper that I have ever had. So we'll see. Like I said, I put the grip tape. This grip tape is amazing. You get some skateboard tape. I tried to do it nicely, but you know, whatever. It works. It's like you put your finger on it and it's like your finger's glued to that spot, unless you just pick it up. I mean, you pick it up and it's like you're not stuck to it, but when you're on it, it's like you're glued if you try to move it sideways. It's like it's glued in place. No sliding whatsoever. Anyway, grip tape helps. And it also came with another clip to be put on this side. You can't put it on this end, but you can put it left or right-handed. And I threw that away because I'm right-handed and I never ever will use that. And of course, Cold Steel has a triad lock, which is super strong. And I really, honestly, I hate liner locks. I hate liner locks. My greatest fear in life is that I go to stab something and the fucking knife folds over and cuts my fingers off. So these are not tactical blades. These are everyday carry, using for opening boxes and shit, but you know, you still don't want to have to stab something and then have the fucking thing come and cut your fingers off. That being said, this lock is very hard. I've had it about a week. I guess I'm getting used to it, but damn, it is hard. And I'm okay with that. That's what I want. You know, I want it easy to open. Whoop. Easy to open, which it's not that easy, but anyway, you gotta flick it. You want to be able to open it easy, and closing is whatever. I almost got to use two hands to close it. So we'll see. Code 4.